Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Friday right before holiday weekend. So happy Memorial Day coming up, at least in the US. This is an update on Ethereum Classic, which has had some really strange rallies to the upside, which has made it contrast a little bit from some of the other cryptos here. We had our low overnight on May 12th, 2:45 a.m. Central Time in the US. And we have what looks like it could be a five-wave rally up. You got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't have perfect proportions, but I'll take whatever the market's giving us right now. At the same time, because of the strange shape and because of some of the action we're seeing across other cryptos, this could also be counted as an ABC up. So it could be a corrective fake out bounce, and we may have a 1-2 setup for more downside action. I want to contrast this with what we're seeing in Bitcoin, as well as some of the other coins, in which we had a near certain downside setup as of May 18th, and then we kind of turned back up, but we haven't really had anything conclusive. It looked like we had an impulse up, maybe 5 waves up and 3 down for Bitcoin. That setup is still holding, but in Ethereum, the other big crypto coin, we kind of broke that setup. We had a lower low. So right now we're kind of in a holding pattern, and Ethereum also had a bit of a downside setup. And finally, Bitcoin Cash, which I've been using to represent our altcoins, had possibly an even stronger downside setup. I was certain we're going to crash down. So I did unload positions, which I have since bought back in. So I'm back up at full allocation again, and I'm ready to hold through any further downside we may have. So how much lower could we go in Ethereum Classic? The short-term picture with this current setup is pointing to about where we were before. 1552 was the official low. 1546, right around there. Could see a little bit lower. The picture is a bit different in the big picture chart, but yeah, somewhere between $13 and $14 is where we are projected. However, if we have bottomed, I would like to see us start rallying relatively soon. So this whole thing could be a 1 and a 2, might have a little lower to go, but we should see a rebound relatively quickly. And if we see that, expect a rally to take us through $37, maybe as far up as the $40 mark. If that does take 5-wave impulsive form, the pullback afterwards would be a great place to deploy some cash if you're looking for a lower risk, higher confidence entry point. So shifting to that bigger picture, I haven't changed too much on the chart. As we mentioned before, we didn't quite make it in the box for Ethereum Classic. That would have been the ideal retrace point, 1425. But as I showed on the small picture chart, that is about where we would expect to go down. It is projecting down there if we get that lower low. And of course, I keep forgetting to mention all these charts are available in the description below. So check out the links there as it is with every other coin video I do, as well as non-crypto stuff. But basically, red pattern says that we're done with the crash. The orange pattern says that we have a little lower to go. It doesn't really change the upside too much. It's just a matter of whether or not we are actually done. We had a great MACD divergence, MACD here, although we've broken down a little bit more with our last spike down. So who knows, maybe we need a little bit lower just to extinguish the last of that bearish sentiment. Now, as I mentioned, we should see some rally on the upside relatively soon if that is the case. Big picture, I have this as a big 1-2 starting with the 2016 bottom, and this would be presumably a third wave. This is a little unique amongst cryptos because at least with EOS, Dash, and a couple other coins that don't have as much history going back, I'm seeing the Jan 2018 top as a major third wave. That's the case with Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically. I'll actually pull up Dash because I have the cleanest chart on that one. It illustrates the point much more cleanly. This is the everything, at least the crypto top for all the coins. We also had a major top in the stock market around here. This was the final top before our colossal crash that ended in 2020. Yes, we were in a correction for 2 years in the S&P 500 and the Dow. That is a topic for another time, but based on that logic and that pattern, that would be best classified as a third wave, which means we have one more rally to go to give us a fifth wave. And in Dash, that could still have some pretty good upside. In Ethereum Classic, it's the same story. We do still have upside. So how this manifests really depends. In Dash, at least we had, I believe, a 38.2% retrace. Yeah, that is what I had. So if we basically imitate what we did there, we copy and paste that same pattern forwards, assuming that is a third wave top and we just finished a fourth wave pullback. If we have a 38% retrace, you could see this thing go well past the 200 mark, past the high in 2021. 237 is what I'm projecting here. That would be a common topping zone. if this was actually the third and we have a little bit higher to go. However, because of the colossal rally we had here, whether it's a third wave or a first wave, that's what the green pattern is. I would expect us to go a little bit higher than that, but we're not going to know anything until we see some more continued upside action. So expect a first wave or an A wave to get us back to about where our high was on March of 29th, just because of symmetry. So it'd be possible we get there. I already have a fib extension tool built out here. I know there's a lot of clutter. Going to slide that over, but assuming that we get to about, let's see, about $50, $53 or so on this first rally, and we have a pullback that would project us somewhere into the top of this box. That could be a very good A wave. Now, whether we actually finish this in the three-wave standard pattern, a three-wave zigzag pattern, as you see here, ABC, or it's an impulse, not totally sure yet. As of now, Ethereum Classic at least has shown very corrective looking rallies. So this doesn't look like an impulse. This looks like an A, B, and a C with the top coming February here. Although many of the crypto coins had their first wave tops around August. So this is a little bit unconventional, but overall, we still should have the potential to rally a good bit higher if this really is completing in diagonal fashion. We have a strong Fibonacci confluence at 1034. So I know I'm all over the place here. We can't really have a stronger estimate calculated until we have more bullish action. We need a bigger impulsive wave setup to project a little bit higher. And the same applies to all the cryptos because we still don't have that bottom confirmed. We don't have a full 5-wave rally from that bottom yet. I know you can count this as such, but I would much rather see a bigger impulsive rally back again to about where we were end of March. If we get that kind of a rally, again, in the $40 to $50 range, small picture charts showing $40, wherever it is, we get that pullback, then we can finally project up and, well, we will know where we're going to go. So up until then, this is a very approximate target, which hasn't changed. We'll see what happens. I'll have plenty more updates coming our way. If you are looking to buy, I already gave you some hints on how you could wait. Don't get FOMO yet, but don't panic sell. We're closer to the bottom than we are to the top. And of course, you may love Ethereum Classic, but always diversify when messing with altcoins. Don't put everything into one. Buy 5, 6, 7 different altcoins at least. If you're buying Bitcoin or Ethereum, those are a bit lower risk. You can get away with a little less diversification there.